Know what I always say to myself? I say to myself that I shouldn't be angry with myself. I shouldn't abuse myself in words or mentally, because there are enough people in this world who just had a bad day or they don't have a life, and simply because of that they search for someone to kick, and it might be you. You don't need to make an extra effort. Moin moin, dear people, old, new, my friends, the friends of my friends, my relatives, and anyone in the world who found this channel and who thought that the topics I'm talking about might be interesting for them. My name is Anna, as always, of Northern Germany, a survivor, a fighter, a writer, and on this channel I talk about writing because I'm an aspiring author, about books because I adore books, about mental health and mental health awareness because some time ago I was diagnosed with chronic depression, and also about politics sometimes, but not too much because it's bad for my mental health, and all this together. And I already have a couple of videos related to me working on my novel, and the novel generally is finished, but it's always that there is always some room for perfection, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm not rewriting my novel. I was just doing some edits, and this is what you are going to see in this video, me doing some edits. For that I printed this dummy. That's already, edits are already done. Now I am packing those back to the computer because I don't know. Okay, let's leave it for the conclusion. Yeah, so this one is already worked through. I have only this left, and unfortunately I will not manage to finish it this week because I'm alone at work again. And I am exhausted, believe it or not. But again, I don't want to do a very long introduction. Let's watch me struggling. And then let's come back here and discuss what my results are, what my conclusions are, etc. Yeah, forgot to say, hopefully enjoy. I didn't film the process of me printing the book. I don't remember why. It was at the beginning of January, probably I didn't feel well on that day, but thanks to my friends I could print everything on their printer, otherwise it would have cost me a fortune. It's a thick book, you can believe me. It was 430 pages of word standard pages when I began. And this is my problem. You can also see it on my channel. I speak a lot and I can never stop on time. That's why I had to work through these massive amounts of text. Today is crazy, but also so sad. One of our drivers that takes kids to school and back from school died. I didn't know him well, but my colleague knew him. And also recently so many people died. It really feels like death is accomplishing some kind of a plan. It's like, you know, in Russia the police has the plan to accomplish. They cannot catch fewer criminals, or they can catch more. They cannot catch fewer than established. Yeah, it's stupid, but I think it's the heritage of the USSR. And also feels like the same with the death. And recently many people are ill. And we also have many people who quit it because they don't feel well, because they're ill. And also recently, because of the weather conditions, we had problems with work, and the bus drivers also didn't want to work that much. And I was pissed always because I'm Russian, and I was taught to work till I die. But the thing is, one day comes and you just die. I don't know, just take care of yourself, you know. Have something to decide. Don't cling on the work. Work is far from everything. And also, today you're here. If you're not here tomorrow, they'll find another person. And this is it. Yeah, I did everything that I could for now. I think I'll have 1 hour and a half of peace, relative. And I brought my book with me. Something that helps me to carry on. Because work in the office is not always the most motivating. But it's not about work, it's about time. Yeah, so far like this. Most of my writing is done while sitting on the couch at home. It's of course really boring and horrible for my back and for my neck, but also quite a chunk I did at my work this time. Doesn't happen too often that I have time, but when I do have time, as an overachiever, I cannot sit still, and I prefer to work on my book. You can judge me, of course, but I do it. I have a new piece of clothing. And my first reaction was that, oh my god, they are too short. I cannot show it to you because I need the vertical video. Maybe I can put a photo or something. And I also don't have a mirror that is like all height long. That's why, yeah, my first reaction was like, okay, I have to return them. It definitely doesn't work, but then I like style it a bit, like kind of like in the picture. I mean, with all these buttons and so, and also like you might have this desire to, you know, do like this, but it's not how you are supposed to wear it. And if you wear it as it is in the picture, it's actually very nice. I discussed it with one friend of mine. We agreed that, of course, if they were longer, that would be better, but like this it's also okay. And I don't really want to mess with this return stuff. So far I'm happy. At the beginning I was very unhappy, but now I think I'm happy. I think with the boots, with the socks, it should be fine. Yeah, Bob the Builder. My second personality. Going back to my volunteering years, but okay. I got up and I think it would be very nice for me to go outside to ride to Hamburg to the library or something. But I think it's a bit unrealistic for today because I really need to do laundry, and my memories about my washing machine almost jumping and almost committing something very unpleasant is still very fresh, and I cannot leave my washing machine on while I'm somewhere not at home. And also I had to wait for the delivery. Delivery arrived, and I still need to load the washing machine and take the rubbish out. And yesterday my day was meh, because we had a fight at work, and I'm, as a coordinator, was like in this fight. It was very unpleasant. I think my colleague was over dramatic, like very, very dramatic. And because of that, I missed my buses. And the next bus didn't show up. And I had to go home via Hamburg. And it took like an hour and a half. How nice is it? And then I was just dead. But I can show you how much I have achieved yet. Done. Yet to be done. Okay, I'll try to make myself cozy and here and do as much as I can on the weekend. But you know what? I'm very happy to have this and this, because if you have only work in your life, eventually you'll get ill and crazy, and you will be like Britney dancing with knives at some point. So let's do the chores and then let's cozy up and do writing. I did go to Hamburg on Sunday, and I miss Hamburg so much. I want to inhale Hamburg. I want to see Hamburg. I want to be Hamburg. I want to Hamburg. The thing is, I used to go to the integration courses. I used to work in Hamburg. I used to go to the library quite often to write, but now I don't have that much time, and also the train is not running, and that means that instead of 20 minutes to the main station, it will take me to go there more than an hour, and it's quite an outing, and it also takes quite a lot of energy. That's why often if I want to write, for example, I opt for staying at home, because it's just es lohnt sich nicht. It's not worth it, as you can say it in German, because it's just too much time to go there and back. Although I really enjoy writing in the library, although it's quite noisy there, and we will be back to that in a minute. But yeah, this is my pile, what I did, and this is still to be done. And as you can see, I am very, very slow and upset. Frosty weather is back. It's really cold, but I got home a bit earlier today because my colleague drove me and dropped me in my town. And as you can see, we don't only fight with each other, we can also be kind to each other. I just felt the urge to go somewhere, and I'm going to our local library to check it out. I'm not sure there will be places. I will have a bit of time to work on my book there, and I also need to edit the video for the 1st of February because I am planning to go to Berlin, and also on the weekend I'll have to film TikToks also had, and I have to apply for the Wohngeld, not because I really need the Wohngeld, but because the job center is forcing me to. Yeah, I really don't know, like these people who live on the benefits from the job center, I don't know, they are some fantastic beasts. I don't know how they survive. I am so pissed with the job center all the time. Just don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. But still, they still exist in my life. I am very upset about that fact. I worked in our local library for 1 hour and a half till it closed, And unfortunately, it was the first and the last time I went there, because even for me, a very noise-resistant person, it was too noisy. And this is the big problem of German libraries, because everyone can go there and nobody cares.
И надеюсь, что люди меня здесь любят тоже. Щи не буду. Самая вкусная солянка в городе — это вот там. Суши-пицца. Где отсюда суши-пицца? Слушай, мне кажется...
It took me so long to get through my book that it snowed, then the snow melted, then it snowed again, and the Christmas time ended, and it was time to say goodbye to my Christmas tree, which I did very reluctantly because it already became a part of my apartment, and also it was very dear to my soul, this Christmas tree, my first Christmas tree in my first independent flat. But I wish I could have worked faster, but it is what it is. I had been also doing my job. A lot of things happened at my work, and a lot of time I spent alone, overworking, and then I still wanted to do things that I really, really love, writing and filming. And I again wrote a lot at work, because when I have these gaps, I cannot sit still. It's my biggest problem in my life, but at the same time, this is how I did a lot of things in my life, such as learning a language, learning another language, finishing my book, although very, very slowly. It's around 8:30. Unfortunately, today I don't have to go to work too early because everyone is ill, and my colleague's son was ill, but okay. They figured that out, so she's coming a bit earlier. I come a bit later. And I woke up to the drilling. I would have complained about that, but I understand that you cannot really choose when a worker is coming to you, and usually when the worker is coming to you, you just pray for this worker. Really, my curtain is still not fixed because I always forget to call them or to write to them to ask again what is going on, if they're going to come anytime soon, because the worker told me that because last time the worker who was supposed to fix it came, said that he doesn't know what to do and that another person will come, but much later. Okay. Yeah, so I got up and did yoga. As you can see, I have to prioritize various things for me not to go crazy, because if I start hyperfixating on my book only or on my YouTube or on anything, it's going to be too much for my nervous system. It's very sad because I think I'm capable of doing more, not like in a toxic way, but sometimes I just want to do things and not to be overwhelmed with these things, because I think I have a lot of energy. I'm good at, like, time management, at, bringing myself to do things, but I just cannot do. It's just, yeah, the side effect of all my mental issues. Okay. I wanted to show you like how far I've got with my book, and yeah, it's also like I have to accept that this is the reality, that I am not a self-employed person, author, and I have other things to do. I have a job that is a handful. On Friday we had such a... Okay. I won't be saying what we had on Friday. Okay, doesn't matter. yeah, this is what I have left, and this is what I worked through. And of course, I use every free moment when I'm not overwhelmed, of course, to write. Yesterday in the evening, I thought that it was already the time to edit my video for the 1st of February. And I'm also going to Berlin because I want to watch my friend doing her aerial performance. And I'm not going to finish before the 1st of February. I have to accept that. And I started. When did I start? Now I cannot say, but I can tell you, I can write the date when I started. It's what it is. If you are an author, an aspiring author, how quick does it take to work it through? And do you hate yourself sometimes? Like, for your writing? Share in the comments. I really hope you don't hear my vegetable stewing for my dinner, but if you do, I'm sorry. And here you're witnessing a very, very embarrassing moment. It's the 14th of February. Well, currently not, but it was on the 14th of February I realized that I had only 3 pages to work through, barely. And I could have finished long ago, but life has happened as always, and I was postponing it. It's already the 22nd of February, and if you think I gave up on my book, no, this one never gives up. Sometimes maybe I should, but it's definitely not my book on which I should give up. I finished this a week ago already, I think. Yeah, I think it was a week ago. That was very shameful because I could have finished it even before that, but the reality happened. Yeah. Far from Stephen King's advice to do everything in one evening, but the book is thick and my mind is busy. And also I'm in a bit of a burnt out state. I think I should film another burnout recovery as I used to do in the past. And today is Sunday. The original plan was that I take my laptop, take my book, and close myself in the library for the whole day. But the weather is changing, I'm exhausted, and I had such a tremendous headache yesterday. It was incredible, but also what was even more incredible that the night before I felt so overwhelmed. It's also the hormonal stuff, so don't believe me. I don't believe myself. My brain lies quite a lot. And I was thinking that I will never film again. I will never write again, ever. I'm done. No, I will just go to my work, and just I will become the most boring person in the whole world. It just like the first signs that my headache is going away, I just stood up, started to do things. I finished publishing TikToks. Yesterday also the video for today, the one that is planned, the political tea. And well, I don't know how to rest. I always told you, I have no idea how to rest. I know how to work. I am a perfect working horse, but I don't know how to rest. And today it's raining, and also the library doesn't work for as long as I would want it to work, maybe, so it doesn't make much sense to go there. But also it's Sunday and I want to do as much as I can. thus I should rest. But I also want to do this, because if I finish doing this, I will see how much I failed to make it shorter. And also I want to update you, because I engaged you into all this, and I want to update you how much I failed to make it shorter. And then I have to discuss it with my friend who have been reading this book, how far she got. And these I will pass to Sisuda, my friend, and she, I don't know if she would still want to read on this. Jesus Christ, gosh. Yeah, what else I wanted to say? Yeah, I attempted to do cozy stuff, like make myself cozy around. I think I will try to sit on my bed in my blanket and do, but not overdo. I will overdo that. I know that, you know that. If you watch my channel for a while, we both know that. Yeah. I'm very excited. You do not see it on my face. I'm just weirdly sleepy a bit, although I slept well. I had a dream again, nightmare about Russia. I'm so sick of those. But whatever. Let's see how much I progress today, I guess. And this is my attempt to make it cozy. As you can see, it's dark again, as all the days before. It's also like the day before yesterday, the temperatures were minus, and it was still snow lying, and then in one night it was gone. It was hard for my head to handle this. And I also have a candle in my window.
Your shin, your pant leg, your ankle, or maybe all the way over to clasp the arch of the foot or the toes. As you're ready, experiment with...
So the results. My book originally sat on, don't cry please, 430 pages, like standard word pages. It's not a fantasy. And I already anticipate problems with which I'm going to embrace the acquiring process, because so far I have no freaking idea who I should try as my agent. Because my book is a bit hard to fit into the frame. This is my problem in this world. Yeah, I cannot really describe it as something like a Ghibli movie, but on the paper. I don't know, Leo Tolstoy, but modern, in the modern days, because I heard that when you do the acquiring process, agents do appreciate that. And okay, I really hoped I would be able to make my book shorter, but I gave up on counting pages very quickly because I realized that I will be very disappointed. And instead I followed the word count, and I haven't finished yet, but I got rid of 10,000 words. Yay! Is it bad? I don't know, really. I really don't know. I think the second opinion would help me, but unfortunately I don't have a perfect reader. I don't have a person who would just read it for me without a but, because all my friends are excited, but they have their life, and somehow, yeah, it sounds a bit sad, but there is no friend of mine who would just say, yeah, I will read it for you in a week. But yeah, okay. As my friend said, I have taught myself to be a self-editor, and this is what you should also do. Yes. Did I enjoy working on the paper? Yes and no. I think it's such a waste of paper, but I do understand why people do that. Also, if you have to read it from the computer screen, your eyes will dry out and fall out and you'll go blind. No, I'm just dramatizing. But I don't see myself printing many versions, every version of my book that I have. I am, of course, unsatisfied with my speed. Of course, I am not satisfied. I started on the 12th of January, and today is the 18th, the 19th, and yeah, I still haven't finished to, correct it on the computer. And yeah, I would have wanted to do it faster and maybe start acquiring or jump on another project, because I had to put my other projects on hold because I don't want to go crazy. And I have a very demanding and a very stressful job. This is why. And life happens. And I also got a cold. Did I even get 2 colds? No, only one. Okay, only one. But yes, unfortunately, I don't have that much energy to work on my book. And I'm very sad about that. But I don't know. Maybe one day it will change. Yeah. What is your speed to work on your books? I'm very curious. I'm interested. But also it of course differs whether you do it on side or whether you do it as the main thing, as your career, as whatever. Yeah, I won't make you stay for long. I think I will be finishing because I need to finish the editing, the edits of this book. I wanted to say the video, and then I want to finish the edits of the book. And I'm also very tired. It's already the evening, and tomorrow I'm also alone at work. Yeah, but thank you very much for watching. I love you very much. And if you're interested, I have some other stuff. I have a TikTok, I have a Medium, I have a writing blog, I have an Instagram. Do I have anything else? I don't remember. No, I think it's enough for me. It's enough activity on the internet. And if you want to support me, you can buy me a coffee, but I always feel ashamed of saying that. And yeah, write something in the comments, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, have a nice day. I hope spring has come to you too, and I will be wishing you love and peace from Anna of Northern Germany, and tschüss.